I know the rules. Do you? A little backstory. This happened years ago while I was working in retail. I had been at this place for 3 years, was cross-trained in every department, had never had a sick day, and was always available to cover shifts when they called me. The important thing to say is that we were also unionized. I would soon be getting married and moved across the country. So being the good employee I was, I gave my store manager my termination notice a month before my last day, instead of just 2 weeks, so he would have plenty of time to hire someone new. Here is the good part. A few days after I turned in my notice, I broke my foot in an act of stupidity. 3 avulsion fractures. They couldn't cast it. Doctor gave me some pain meds and a note saying I could continue to work as a cashier as long as I had a stool or something so I could help keep the weight off my foot. The next day, I grabbed my cane and walked to work with my note. I explained the situation to my supervisor and union rep, and they pull a bar stool from the furniture section and put it in my cash booth. I spend the day working without a problem. The next day, my store manager sees me sitting on the stool and calls me into his office. I go in, and he wants to know why I have a stool. The conversation goes roughly as follows. Manager: why are you sitting down while on shift? Me: because I broke my foot, and the doctor says I cannot be standing on it all day. I have the note and the union's approval. Manager looks over the note and notices the cane beside my chair. Manager: I can't let you keep the stool. If I did, we would have to make accommodations for everyone who got injured outside of working hours. Plus, it doesn't look professional to have you sitting at the front of the store. Now, I know he isn't allowed to do that, and that I could have taken this up with the union and won the case. But with only 3 weeks left with the company, I would be lucky to have it resolved before I left. So I get a bright idea. Me: okay, I'll make you a deal. Instead of bringing this to the union, I will give up the stool. But in return, you need to make sure that every shift I work from now on is as the garden center cashier. My manager quickly agrees and thanks me for being understanding. He walks out with me to the garden center and explains to the current cashier that I will be taking over for the rest of the month. Now, being unionized is not always a great thing, but if you know the rules, you can get away with a lot without being fired. With my union, the key was to do exactly what was in your job description, so long as it didn't put you, your coworkers, or the company at risk. Since most of us liked our jobs and respected the store's owner, not the manager, we always went above and beyond. But I was on my way out, and after my talk with the manager, I no longer cared. A few days later, manager comes to let the supervisor know that a shipment of flowers will be arriving sometime today. He apparently decided to check up on me and was completely speechless when he saw me. There I was, sitting on my register's counter, reading a book. Manager: what on earth are you doing? Me: waiting for the next customer to come up while taking the weight off my foot. Why? Manager: you know I could fire you for doing this, right? Me: my job is to be a cashier, which I am doing whenever someone comes up. There are no additional duties like cleaning or stocking for the gardening center cashier. So, between customers, I'm taking the weight off my foot, as per my doctor's note, minus the stool, of course. Manager: I could still fire you for reading on the sales floor. Me: please do. Since I've never received a warning or been written up, that would mean you are firing me for a first offense, which is not sufficient cause for the union. That would mean you would owe me 5 weeks severance, my unclaimed vacation time, and the pay I would miss between now and my final day. Now, you could also spend the next 2 weeks trying to catch me reading. That way, you could issue me the required 3 warnings, followed by the required 3 write-ups, but that would eat up a lot of your time, and I'm pretty sure I could have someone inside call to warn me if they see you coming this way. At this point, a man with a cart full of bags of dirt starts heading my way, and I hop off the register onto my good foot and hop around the register so I can serve him. Manager never came to see me again. I mean, it kinda sounds fake just because the fact that this basically sounds like the wet dream of anyone who's ever had a horrible boss before, but I'm just gonna assume it's real because I really, really want it to be real. Rude psychiatrist asks ill-intended question, gets the response she deserves. First-time poster, on mobile, English is not my first language, you know the drill. For a bit of background, I'm currently suffering from a severe kidney disorder combined with depression and looking for treatment. Psychiatrist's appointments are very expensive, so I rely on health insurance, which severely limits my options. After days of trying to get an appointment, one is finally scheduled. I'm extremely terrified due to the previously mentioned illness, but also excited because I might finally get the help I need. I get to her office and we start talking. My mom is with me because at the time, I was still under 18, and I'm not comfortable being alone in situations like that. From the very beginning, this woman was incredibly rude, condescending, and the general feeling that she didn't want to be there at all. She's aggressive and repeatedly dismisses or ignores what I say. After a while, I get mad and give her the same treatment I had been getting. My mom gets mad at me, there's a lot of yelling. It's important to mention that I cry extremely easily, and I'm an angry crier. So at this point, I'm in tears, trying to explain to her that I indeed want to get treatment. Because me not wanting to be treated poorly somehow made her think otherwise. Finally, after some more pointless bantering, she asks the long-awaited question. Psych, if you met a genie and he gave you 3 wishes, what would you ask for? I believe she wanted me to say, I want him to change the way I am, or something like that. Me. Well, first of all, I think I would wish for a decent psychiatrist. Oh, the face she made was priceless. She didn't say anything for a few seconds, and the appointment was cut short due to my behavioral issues. My mom got angry at me, but I don't regret saying it. Thankfully, I was later on able to find a very nice doctor, and I'm gladly undergoing treatment with him. So even though in the story, it says that the psychiatrist was the one who started all the drama, ignoring that, let's just say it was 100% the patient's fault for starting all the drama, stirring the whole pot. It's still 100% on the professional to be a professional. You don't have to be a kiss ass, but you can't be a dick just because you're in a bad mood. You are not allowed to drive that car. This malicious act of compliance is still ongoing. For some context, I'm a university student who's living on my parents' couch for the next 2 weeks before I move back into my school's town. They are currently redoing their pool with employees working Monday through Friday. I pay my own rent at a room near my university, so I signed up for a clinical trial to take off the added burden of paying for my expensive medicine while getting some grocery money at the same time. I had an appointment early this morning for the trial, and I told my mom about it last night. She immediately disapproved, stating that she didn't want me to be a guinea pig for money. So she woke up before me and took my car out so I couldn't drive it. The only other car in the driveway is her big-ass truck, which I'm uncomfortable driving, but will if I have to. So I called her and told her that because she took my car, I'll be driving her truck to the appointment instead. She, of course, flipped her lid and screamed at me about being a sellout. Y'all, I'm just trying to get some grocery money here. My mom also made it clear that she has her own plans and won't be back with my car until later today. She then ended the call, saying that I am, in no circumstances, allowed to drive her car. Fine, whatever. I rescheduled my appointment and went back to the couch to try to sleep. When the pool workers showed up, they have a huge concrete truck that can only be used when the driveway is empty. But my mom's car is, of course, plopped in the middle of it. So they can't start working until my mom's truck is moved out of the driveway. And with no one else home, this means that I'm the only one who can do it. Oh, except for the fact that I am in no circumstances allowed to drive her car. Whoops. Update. I'm staying the night at my fiance's parents' house tonight. They've been so supportive through everything, and they gave me a shoulder to vent and cry on tonight. A lot's been going on with my parents, even outside this post, so I really needed to get out and not be around it. Thank you so much to all of the amazing commenters and your incredible advice. It means so much to me. So I understand that you don't agree with the way that OP is trying to earn a little bit of extra money. But let's be real here. There are a lot worse ways you can try and earn some extra money besides clinical trials. Instead of taking their car away, if you are really adamant about it, you can do one of two things. You can either help them out financially, or you can help them out by showing them something else that'll help them earn money. Alrighty guys, it's gonna wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed the stories, and if you did and you're new around here, maybe consider subscribing. And if you really liked it, then maybe give it a thumbs up and a share. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.